Yo, how's it going, you guys? It's Marcus Scraper, and in this update, we're going to talk about where we are right now in terms of in this pattern we've been expecting to the downside before finally moving to the upside. Was this close enough, and are we ready to start breaking out to the upside? Well, let's talk about that now. But before we get into this video, if you get any value from this content, don't forget to put a smash down on the like button and subscribe to this channel for more content like this, or don't smash the like button or don't subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Okay, so let's take a look at this right here. We can see basically we had a wick to the downside. This was not too surprising. We talked about in our update, well, not video update, but a post that we did yesterday. We can see that this closed yesterday. We had a close of $433.62, and that was within a penny of the low of this shoulder over here, of this closing low, which was $433.63. And we can see that post right over here. We can see that basically we saw that we closed within a penny from 921, and that was that other shoulder we were just showing you guys. And then also we wouldn't be surprised to see a spike lower tomorrow. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a spike lower, and we were speculating, oh, would it be before the CPI data? We had no idea when the CPI data would come out, and still don't know if that was before or after. But anyway, we saw a spike down below. We weren't sure when that was exactly, but we see a spike down below. Now, is that it? Is this spike kind of equivalent to the spike that we saw over here, for example, that ended up being the low? And this looks a little bit bullish. Now, the only things about this is that we have to be paying attention to is clearly we have to get above these moving averages. And these moving averages are starting to converge. And this is a good opportunity for tomorrow to open up above this moving average. So this is a good opportunity for us to open above the 100-day moving average. We'll see if we can pull that off. But basically, this is looking pretty bullish. This candle alone looks bullish. And it looks like a good setup for an open above the 100-period moving average. It really does look like that. We'll see. We have to just play it as we see it. If we open up tomorrow, that would be a sign, a bullish sign, that we'd start to see a breakout to the upside. And this was low enough, and that we don't actually have to go all the way down and retest this exact low from the past here, which is okay. And it's also interesting that we again made the same exact low right here on a closing basis. So that is interesting, pretty interesting for this inverse head and shoulders kind of case that we've been making here, that we are kind of in at the moment. And another thing where you could kind of catch an early breakout is maybe if you connect some of these lines over here and you can put them together, and that could be an interesting thing to watch to see if we are breaking out above that. But for now, I'd be just paying attention to these moving averages to give me a hint. And then in addition to just those moving averages, we also want to make sure we don't get rejected off of this trend line over here. This is the area basically where we were rejected last time on the trend line and also of the moving averages. So I'm going to be watching these moving averages, but then also once we pass these moving averages, see if this trend line acts as resistance yet again. One other thing for the bulls is that if we look back to the two scenarios that we basically were watching in the past, and those two scenarios were basically over here in terms of this corrective phase, and also over here, this corrective phase over here, these RSI levels in terms of what happened over here is similar to the RSI level lows that we've been seeing already. So this is another indication maybe that the lows are possibly in. So that is interesting. We will see what happens and how this plays out, but the setup at the moment looks pretty bullish. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. And again, these moving averages will be pretty critical, and literally how we open tomorrow could be a pretty important signal on how this plays out in the near future. Well, I hope you guys got some value from this content. If you haven't already, consider smashing the like button, subscribing to this channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.